So just kind of to round out the real estate-oriented discussion, we had talked about this new ruling, this lawsuit with the National Association of Realtors. You were the first person to kind of tell me about that. I had never heard it, so I kind of poked around, and this is fascinating. You want to kind of give our viewers the inside dope on that?
Yeah, as much as I can without being a litigator or an expert on antitrust or price collusion. I can tell you there's a lot of stress in the industry over this right now because it has the potential to change the entire face of how real estate is done. Essentially, there was one of the largest awards in a class action suit of this nature against the National Association of Realtors and a few of the largest real estate brokerages in the country. And it was about a $1.8 billion award. And
so the lawyers did very well on that one.
Yeah. I always picture these guys sitting around in an office saying, "Who's making money today?" Let's call these people, see if they're interested.
That's exactly it.
I think that's how it goes down, which is unfortunate for the most part. But again, I don't know. I'm not in litigation, but it's certainly disruptive, and certainly some of the aspects of the ruling seem a little bit out of touch to me. Again, it's in the lower courts right now. There are going to be appeals. It may even go to the Supreme Court to rule on this because it is a federal matter.
What's the big takeaway from the
There are
rulings?
two main arguments and lawsuits that are involved. Sellers are saying, because the MLS requires me to pay something to the buyer's realtor, it's called an offer of compensation. And I'm not getting any benefit from that buyer's realtor. That person's not working for me. I may never even meet them. But I'm required by these ethical rules that are set in place by the National Association of Realtors to pay something to the buyer's realtor.
So as a realtor here, the perspective is a couple of different ways, right? So sometimes the buyer does have a lot of money to put down on a property, right? So they don't mind, or they could potentially pay for the commissions of their agent. They're hiring a person. I hire a financial advisor, I hire a doctor, I pay for them, right? So same kind of concept as what they're fighting against. The problem lies with those that do not have a lot of cash at hand to put down. So let's just call it, $300,000, and they're putting 5% down, and they might have that, but they don't have the extra money for the commission. Okay, so what's going to happen? They're going to put that amount of money on the price of the house, and then the seller is going to credit the money back to the buyer to pay their agent. So it's a wash.
So it's
it
really
almost
just
makes no sense.
It's manipulation of the contract for the purposes of getting the deal done.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless people have money and are okay with paying for it. So those buyers that don't have the cash at hand, we're price pushing in the house, right? And then that has problems too, appraisals and all of that good stuff. And or they can't get the house, so you have less buyers.
And I'm not sure you want buyers out there saying, "Oh, I can go it alone," and running into all these issues, inspections and negotiations and things like that are done by the realtors that do add a lot of value to the transaction. I think, that doesn't benefit the consumer. I mean, all of this is about consumer protection, right? So I think you're achieving the opposite result of what you want.